Saibhai, what do you make of Gautam Gambhir's assessment? He said, stop talking about the pitch. 124 runs was chaseable on the track.
Totally agree with Gautam Gambhir. 124 was chaseable on this pitch, no question about it. A lot of people are talking about what the pitch was doing, but if you had a look at what Simon Harmer was doing in an over, how many of his deliveries were turning? He was mixing it really well. The straight through. He was getting the odd ball to turn. So it was not a vicious pitch. It was a pitch where you had to bat as if you were batting in a 5-day test match and not as if you were looking to play in a 50 overs or a T20 over, where after 3 dot balls, you're looking to play a break out of jail shot. That is a thing. The batting 124, yes, it was chaseable, should have been chased with the kind of batting lineup that India has, should have been chased with at least 5 wickets in hand.
Saibhai, you say with the kind of batting lineup that India has, they should have been chased. My question to you is, where was India's Temba Bavuma then? Someone who got 55 runs. My mind takes me back to 2006. I was there in Jamaica. It was a worse pitch, mindful of a pitch. 68 odd, Rahul Dravid helped you win that test match. Where was India's Temba Bavuma and who can be that?
Well, exactly. That is the question, because the Indian batters had the example of Temba Bavuma. Look, you can forget what happened yesterday. But when there is somebody who has played an innings of such character, such determination, such patience, such good technique, and such good temperament, just a couple of hours before you go into bat, that should be at least at the back of your mind. So, where is India's Temba Bavuma? I don't know whether India has got a Temba Bavuma.
What has led to this situation there, Saibhai? I gave you an example of a Rahul Dravid. I know that there was that infamous test match, 97, India failed to chase down 120, but I know that pitch was really, not worth batting on. It was up and down, Curtly Ambrose on top of his game. As you're saying, this pitch really wasn't that. What has contributed to a situation like this, where you can't have a batter who can be grinding it out in the center?
Because a lot of our players do not play domestic cricket. If you play domestic cricket, you will get to play on such pitches, right? Because even at the domestic level, teams are trying to get the points so that they qualify for the knockouts of the Ranji Trophy, which means that there will be pitches where the ball will grip and turn a little bit. But none of our players are playing that. None of our current players. How many of our current players actually deign to go down and play Ranji Trophy? No, they don't, because, there's this word called workload. Workload is the word. They don't want to play. They don't want to play. They only want to play in the Ranji Trophy if they are out of form. Otherwise, they don't want to play. So that is the answer. Maybe you want to look at, preparing a pitch where the ball will grip and turn a little bit. Then you want to pick guys who are playing domestic cricket. You do not really want to play guys who are playing international cricket because they don't have the practice against such kind of pitches. And that said, I really want to also agree with Gautam Gambhir that there was nothing in the pitch. The pitch, yes, the odd ball turn, fine. I mean, on day 3, you are going to get a pitch where the odd ball is going to turn. How many deliveries of Maharaj turned? How many deliveries of Maharaj turned? How many deliveries of, say, for example, Jadeja or Akshar Patel turned? A lot of people are calling this a pitch, whether it's a spinning pitch. Yes, on day 2, day 3, there will be a little bit of turn, but it was nothing vicious. So it is just poor technique and poor temperament which has got us into this situation.
My question to you, Saibhai, fine, as you say, this was a pitch where India should have chased it down. My point is, we've just had a series lost to New Zealand on similar pitches. So the evidence suggests that maybe our batters are not really capable, because of various reasons, that some those that you've pointed out as well, are not capable of getting runs on these pitches. You've done well on flat pitches. England came here in 24, you gave them good pitches, you won that series. You went to England, good pitches, you drew that series even though you were underdog. Doesn't that evidence then suggest, then go ahead and have good batting pitches which allow 3 days of outstanding batting and then you get a bit of turn? Doesn't that suit the Indian team more than this strategy where they've asked for a pitch that begins to turn from day 2 onwards?
I don't know what exactly the pitch was asked for. From what I read, the coach in his press interaction say that they got the exact pitch that they wanted. Now, I don't think that anybody is going to ask for a pitch where the ball's going to start spinning and jumping from day one. Yes, I think some gradual turn. After all, this is India, and you will hardly ever get a pitch like maybe what we got way back in the late 1970s, hard bouncy pitches. Chennai, for example, in 1978 against the West Indies, where Gundappa Vishwanath got an absolutely unbelievable 100. So it's the fastest pitch that I have played on ever. I mean, I played at Perth, Jamaica, Barbados, you name it, the Oval in England, and even the pitches in Australia, but no pitch was as quick as the Chennai pitch. So you want to make a pitch where it's an even balance. And that said, it's very, very difficult for any curator to get the exact balance right. So you really, want to leave the curator alone and let him make a pitch which he knows will last 4.5 to 5 days. That is the one that you want. And I think that would be the way to go.
That, as you said, curator really wasn't left alone. He was asked to prepare a pitch like this. And that then takes me back to the question, Saibhai, that, we've seen on the evidence that we've seen good batting pitches, always giving you good results, turning tracks, really not working in your favor. And why is there a discrepancy there when West Indies, for example, comes? Then we have good batting pitches. Bangladesh will come, we'll have good batting pitches. Sri Lanka will come, we'll have good batting pitches. As soon as England or Australia or South Africa come, we end up with these sort of pitches. What do you think is the right way forward? We heard from Ganguly saying, have good batting pitches for every team.
Well, you know what happens at the IPL? No IPL franchise can influence the curator to prepare any kind of pitch. The curator is left absolutely alone. He can prepare a pitch, and he might, if he wants to, if he's a die-hard fan of the franchise, which is the home franchise, he might prepare a pitch which might suit the franchise's strength. But that said, I think it's always best to leave the curator alone, because he knows his job better than anybody else. You ask him to mix it up, add another cocktail, that can actually backfire, and so that is what you do not want to do.
I mean, on the subject of these pitches, overall, forget what the result is and what India needs to do going forward. Don't you think these pitches where test matches end in 2.5 days hamper Test cricket in general? Now, that's a format that's struggling for survival. We saw a good crowd turn out at the Eden Gardens. I'm sure they expected a 5-day test match.
Yes. Everybody wants a 5-day test match because that is what, the format of the game is. But let's not just blame, the Indian pitches, because, you've had pitches in Australia. When India went there, you've had pitches where 15 wickets have fallen, 17 wickets have fallen in a day. Nobody has said anything. Nobody has said anything. We always tend to make a big deal about, pitches where, you have 14, 15 wickets falling in a day. But you want a good test match, which is a good balance between bat and ball. And over the last maybe several years, we actually haven't had pitches where, there's a good balance between bat and ball.
Looking back at that test match, I know what if is in the realm of, fantasy, but do you think the fact that India effectively played with 10 players versus 11, I know it's not anything of fault of the South African team that Shubman Gill gets injured, but the margin is so close, just 30 runs. You've played without one of your premier batter in both the innings because of an injury. Had he been playing, a different result?
Yes, could very well have been a different result because, look, he's a wonderful batter. And not only is he a wonderful batter, when he gets going, the batter at the other end gets confidence. And that is the hallmark of, great players, is that they make batting easy for their partners as well. They take the load sometimes. They take, the better bowlers, play the better bowlers, show them how to play the better bowlers. And I think Gill's presence would have been the difference. But that said, again, like you said, there's no place for ifs and buts. That's just unfortunate about his injury. Hopefully he'll be all right pretty quickly and will be there to lead the Indian team's revival in Guwahati.
Okay, we'll leave it at that, Mr. Gavaskar. Thank you so much for joining us. The latest update on Shubman Gill is that he will be travelling to Guwahati, but we don't know whether he'll be playing the game or not.